As the sun set on the life of Osman Ghazi in the early 14th century, a new dawn was rising for the burgeoning Ottoman Empire. It was either in the year 1323 or 1324 when the great leader drew his final breath, leaving behind a legacy that would be carried forward by his son Orhan. Tradition tells us of a pivotal moment, a moment that would shape the future of an empire destined for greatness. In the quiet aftermath of his father's passing, Orhan turned to his brother Alaeddin with a proposal that spoke of both ambition and brotherly love. "Let us share this emerging empire," Orhan suggested, offering a vision of co-rulership. But Alaeddin, with a heart full of loyalty and respect for their father's wishes, refused. "Our father has chosen you as the sole successor," he said firmly. "The empire must remain undivided." In an act of humility and wisdom, Alaeddin accepted only the revenues of a single village near Bursa, allowing Orhan to lead the empire as their father had envisioned. This decision, steeped in honor and foresight, would pave the way for the Ottoman Empire's unprecedented rise, as Orhan stepped into the role of leader, guided by the unyielding support of his brother. Military innovations and reforms. In the time that followed, the wisdom of Alaeddin continued to shape the destiny of the Ottoman Empire. It was under his guidance that the Ottomans began to break free from their status as vassals to the Seljuk rulers. With a bold stroke, they ceased to stamp their coins with the Seljuk image and no longer invoked the Seljuk name in public prayers. Some attribute these changes to Osman himself, but most scholars agree that it was Alaeddin who brought about these pivotal reforms. Alaeddin's vision extended beyond mere symbolism. He was the architect of profound legal and military innovations that would lay the foundation for Ottoman supremacy. Among his most notable contributions was the establishment of a standing army, a revolutionary concept at the time. Prior to this, Ottoman forces consisted of armed vassals and volunteers who gathered for campaigns and dispersed afterward. Alaeddin recognized the need for a permanent, disciplined military force, and thus he organized a corps of paid infantry known as the Yaya, or Piyade. These troops were divided into tens, hundreds, and thousands, their ranks meticulously structured and their pay substantial. However, with their newfound pride and power, the Yaya posed a potential threat to the stability of the state. To address this, Orhan sought the counsel of his brother Alaeddin and Kara Khalil Chandarla, a statesman closely linked to the royal family. It was Chandarla who proposed the formation of a new elite corps, the Janissaries. This force would be comprised entirely of children from conquered territories, a concept both controversial and ingenious. The conquered are the responsibility of the conqueror, Chandarla argued. We have the right to treat them as our own, and in doing so, we offer them better lives and greater prospects. By enlisting these children, Chandarla believed they would secure loyal and capable soldiers, while simultaneously encouraging others to join the Ottoman cause. Acting on this advice, Orhan selected 1,000 of the finest boys from Christian families within the conquered lands. These recruits were meticulously trained, their talents nurtured for roles ranging from professional soldiers to high-ranking officials, including the esteemed position of Grand Vizier. This practice of recruiting and training continued for centuries, creating a formidable force that became the scourge of the Balkans and Central Europe. The Janissaries, born out of Alaeddin's military legislation and Chandarla's strategic foresight, remained a cornerstone of Ottoman military might until their eventual dissolution by Sultan Mahmud II in 1826. Through these reforms, Alaeddin organized victory for the Ottoman dynasty, ensuring its dominance and longevity. His legacy, alongside Orhan's leadership, propelled the empire into an era of unprecedented power and influence, setting the stage for centuries of Ottoman rule. Expansion and conquest. Orhan Ghazi, in his relentless pursuit of expansion, turned his gaze towards the Byzantine territories in northwest Anatolia. In 1321, he captured Mudanya, the crucial port linking Bursa to the Sea of Marmara. His strategic brilliance shone as he dispatched 3 columns of troops, one under Konur Alp towards the West Black Sea coast, another under Akçakoka to capture Kocaeli, and a third under Abdurrahman Ghazi to secure the southeast coast of the Sea of Marmara. Through cunning diplomacy, Orhan persuaded the Byzantine commander of Bursa to defect, leading to the city's capture. The former Byzantine commander, now known as Evrenos Bey, would later become a prominent leader of Ottoman light cavalry, carving out a legacy in the Balkans. With Bursa under Ottoman control, Orhan's cavalry advanced towards the Bosphorus, capturing Byzantine towns along the Marmara coast. The sight of Ottoman light cavalry along the Bosphorus sent ripples of fear through Byzantine lands. Orhan's forces laid siege to Nicaea, the empire's second most important city after Constantinople. In 1329, Emperor Andronikos III led a mercenary army to relieve Nicaea and reclaim Kocaeli. But at the Battle of Pelikanon, Orhan's disciplined troops decisively defeated the Byzantines, forcing Andronikos to abandon any hope of reclaiming Kocaeli. Nicaea surrendered to Orhan after a grueling 3-year siege, concluding in 1331. By 1337, Nicomedia fell to Orhan's forces, with his eldest son, Suleiman Pasha, overseeing the siege operations. The capture of Scutari in 1338 marked the near-complete domination of northwest Anatolia by the Ottomans. The scattered and isolated Byzantine-controlled coastal strips posed no significant threat to Orhan's growing empire. Internal consolidation and reforms. In 1345, Orhan Bey, the second ruler of the Ottoman Beylik, recognized the importance of unity and strength among the Muslim communities in Anatolia. Rather than focusing solely on expanding into non-Muslim territories, he turned his attention to the Turkish Principality of Karesi. According to the Islamic philosophy of governance, which distinguishes between the abodes of peace, Dar al-Islam, and war, Dar al-Harb, Orhan needed a just cause to engage with a fellow Muslim state. The opportunity presented itself when the ruler of Karesi passed away, leaving behind 2 sons, each with legitimate claims to leadership. Orhan, seeking to bring peace and order to the region, intervened in their conflict, ultimately incorporating the territories around Pergamum and Paleocastro into the growing Ottoman state. This strategic move extended Ottoman influence to the Anatolian side of the Dardanelles Straits, further solidifying their position in the region. With the annexation of Karesi, nearly all of northwest Anatolia came under Ottoman control. The cities of Bursa, Nicomedia, Nicaea, and Pergamum became key centers of power, serving as strongholds for the expanding empire. Under Orhan's leadership, the Ottoman Principality now comprised 4 provinces, each reflecting his strategic acumen and commitment to Islamic governance. Following this significant conquest, Orhan ushered in a period of peace that lasted for 2 decades. During this time, he devoted himself to perfecting the civil and military institutions established by his brother, Alaeddin Pasha. Orhan's efforts ensured internal stability and allowed for the flourishing of Islamic culture and scholarship. He constructed mosques, madrasas, schools, and other public edifices that continue to stand as symbols of the Ottoman commitment to Islam. Although Orhan refrained from further conquests in Anatolia during this period, he did secure Ankara, a vital city, from the Ahis, a respected commercial religious fraternity. The movement of Turkish populations across Anatolia before the rise of the Ottoman state was largely driven by the Mongol invasions of Central Asia, Iran, and East Anatolia. These upheavals led to the emergence of various Turkish principalities in the wake of the Anatolian Sultanate of Rum's decline. Though these principalities shared a common Turkish heritage and Islamic faith, they were often rivals for dominance in the region. Orhan's careful navigation of these complex dynamics, always grounded in the principles of justice and unity, allowed the Ottomans to rise as a leading power in Anatolia, laying the foundation for what would become a vast and enduring empire. Relations with Byzantium and Europe. After the Byzantine defeat at the Battle of Pelikanon, Orhan developed friendly relations with Andronicus III Palaiologos, maintaining them with some of his successors. This period of general repose lasted 20 years, during which the Byzantine Empire was weakened by civil wars and the ambitions of Italian maritime states and Turkish emirs. In 1346, Emperor John VI Cantacuzene recognized Orhan as the most powerful Turkish sovereign, seeking to solidify their alliance by marrying his daughter Theodora to Orhan. Despite differences in creed and age, the wedding splendor was celebrated in Byzantine accounts. However, the relationship soured as Turkoman bands, crossing the Marmara Sea and Dardanelles, pillaged Byzantine towns in Thrace, forcing the Byzantines to use superior forces to repel them. Ibn Battuta described Orhan as the greatest of the kings of the Turkomans and the richest in wealth, lands, and military forces, constantly engaged in inspecting his fortresses and fighting against infidels. This relentless pursuit of expansion contributed to the Byzantine Empire's decline, as commercial supremacy in the surrounding seas became a point of contention for the Italian maritime city-states. Amidst this turmoil, Orhan's eldest son, Suleiman Pasha, captured the castle of Simpe in a bold move, establishing a permanent Ottoman foothold on the European side of the Dardanelles. Suleiman began settling Turkoman migrants and town-dwelling Turks in Gelibolu, Gallipoli, which had been devastated by an earthquake and abandoned. John VI's attempts to negotiate with Orhan were futile, as the aging ruler's health prevented further discussions. The Byzantine Empire, weakened by internal strife, saw Orhan's sons, particularly Suleiman and later Murad, solidify Ottoman power in Europe. Suleiman's bold campaigns and the capture of key cities in Thrace laid the groundwork for Ottoman expansion across the Balkans. However, Suleiman's untimely death in 1357, after a tragic fall from his horse, dealt a severe blow to Orhan, who deeply mourned the loss of his beloved son. Despite this personal tragedy, the foundations of a powerful empire had been firmly established under Orhan's leadership. By the time of his death in 1362 in Bursa, Orhan had transformed the Ottoman Beylik from a small Anatolian principality into a formidable force that spanned both Asia and Europe. His reign was marked by military conquests, strategic alliances, and the establishment of enduring institutions that would define the Ottoman state for centuries to come. Orhan's legacy is one of resilience, vision, and expansion. His efforts not only expanded the territorial reach of the Ottoman state, but also laid the cultural and administrative foundations that would guide his successors. The empire he helped to build would grow into one of the most powerful and enduring in history. As we reflect on the life and achievements of Orhan Ghazi, it is clear that his reign was a pivotal chapter in the story of the Ottoman Empire. His vision and determination set the stage for centuries of Ottoman dominance, shaping the course of history in both the East and the West. Thank you for watching this documentary on Orhan Ghazi. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating insights into the figures and events that shaped history.